PK here. Today I want to talk about something a little different than I normally do. Rather than doing a video game or a film, I want to talk about a book. And that book is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Ready Player One. What can I say about this? It's one of the best books I've ever read about the future, 80s pop culture. They're making it into a movie, but I'm kind of really critical of how that movie's going to turn out, especially since I'm pretty well versed in the book. Anyways, the book is about this guy named Wade Watts. And what's significant and important about Wade Watts? Well, Wade Watts wins James Halliday's Easter egg. And I bet you're like, what are you talking about? Okay, all this stuff can be found in chapter 1, so it's not exactly spoiler. Well, anyways, James Halliday created this program called the Oasis. And it's basically free to everyone. Well, you have to pay a 25-cent fee, and then you have lifetime access to the Oasis. James Halliday, basically, it's basically the internet meets virtual reality. You get like a visor, a pair of gloves, and you have your own different, versions of it. Of course, your own software and stuff like immersion rigs and stuff like that. But anyways, so you basically, so it's this virtual world has become more prevalent than the real world, because this takes place in 2044. Yes, 2044. And anyways, and as the title suggests, it says Ready Player One. Obviously, there's a lot of reference to video games, and so I bet you're like, well, what is Halliday's Easter egg? The story starts out talking about James Halliday, who's, the richest man in the world, basically. He created the Oasis. He dies. He has no wife, no kids, and so in his video will, he creates a contest. So you have to find the Easter egg, basically. It's kind of like Adventure, which is the very first game that actually has an Easter egg. And Adventure is referenced in here. The Sword Quest series is referenced. All kinds of 80s pop culture stuff is referenced. Well, so this is the story of how Wade Watts finds the Easter egg. And Wade Watts is like a nobody. He's an 18-year-old kid who lives in the stacks. Well, I bet you're like, what the heck are the stacks? The stacks are literally what they sound like. They're a group of stacked trailer parks. Trailer parks are no longer just flat across. They're actually stacked up high like a building now, which is really crazy in the dystopian future. So, anyway, so what do I like about this? Well, what I like about this the most is it deals with concepts that are so relatable today. The first concept it deals with is climate change. 97% of scientists think, oh my gosh, we are in trouble and we have to do something at some point. We have to reverse the effects of what we're doing because we're still feeling the effects of stuff that happened 10, 15 years ago, and we need to dial it down a bit and be more efficient. And so this deals with that concept of this bleak future, which most stuff about the future is bleak anyways, or at least stuff that's made nowadays as far as films and books and games. But anyways, so it deals with the concept of climate change. It deals with our relationship to technology. What is our relationship to technology? Is our relationship to technology healthy or unhealthy? And it really can be, in a lot of ways, unhealthy depending on how we use technology. It deals with the concept of online relationships. Are our online relationships more real than our real life relationships? I mean, can love bloom in an online relationship? Well, obviously, I met my wife online, so I'm a little biased in that category there. Do I think? Of course I think that, obviously. So then it also deals with the concept of, friendship. How, if you're friends and you're also competitors, how do you deal with that relationship? It deals with corporatism, actually. There's this group in the story called IOI, and they're the common nickname for the people who are also, these guys are also egg hunters. And they're a corporation, and basically the premise of the entire corporation is to find Halliday's Easter egg, and it's like joining the military. You get a retirement plan and everything if you join the IOI, and basically, which totally violates the spirit of Halliday's contest, really, because it's supposed to be like one individual finds the Easter egg. So it talks about the concept of corporatism. Can corporations go too far? It also deals with this concept of how much money is worth killing people for. How much? How much would you kill somebody for? This moral test is shown several times throughout the book. It also deals with another concept which is even more relevant now than it was when this book was written, and that's the concept of net neutrality. When the IOI, or the Sixers, their whole goal is to get a hold of the Oasis, is so they can take control of the Oasis and make it more expensive for people and more elitist. And that's kind of like what we're dealing with net neutrality. Also, they'd have complete control over information, and it would not be a free place like it is. I mean, should the internet be the Wild West? And that's kind of what this deals with, actually. Anyways, what can I say that hasn't already been said about Ready Player One? I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of this before, so I'll tell you right now, it's worth checking out. Definitely go check this out. If you can't get a physical copy, I highly recommend listening to it on the audiobook, because it's narrated by Wil Wheaton, who I don't know if I said this, is actually referenced in the book, which I think is really interesting. It's very postmodern. But anyways, so that's my review of Ready Player One. Go read it. Check it out. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and keep on reading.